Hello and welcome to Fizzy Yoga with Dr. Katie, PT. Today I'm going to talk about the power of the breath and how it relates to yoga and to our everyday lives. So to start, let's just talk about what yoga really means. The word yoga literally translates to the word to yoke or to unite. So the focus of each yoga practice is to unite and connect the mind, body, spirit, and the breath as a whole. Now, furthermore, let's talk about the breath, the driving force. The term we use is prana, and that is basically the life force, that vital life force that we have, that energy. Now, pranayama, to bring that further, is the practice and the control of the inhalation and exhalation during an established pose. So through the yoga flows, you'll notice how we're connecting the body, the mind, the breath in particular to each pose, also known as asanas. Now taking the asanas and the pranayama, putting it together, we have what's called vinyasa flow. And that is the type of yoga that I practice and teach. So the goal there is to truly link each breath to a movement. So you have that perfect balance of pranayama and asanas to lead you into that ultimate state of meditation, of bliss, and just pure relaxation. So now let's just talk about breathing in general. Breathing is so automatic and we never really think about how or when we're breathing. However, this is where the problem lies. We live in a world where we're sitting a ton. There's stress, there's anxiety, there's chronic pain, inflammation. These are real issues. And what's heightening these issues is just chest breathing. So when people are sitting all day, you just lead to this short, shallow breathing just here in the chest. And you're kicking in these muscles from the neck and the shoulders that truly aren't respiratory muscles. But sitting at your desk or your cell phone rounded, you're just doing little tiny breaths, overacting all of these muscles, which in turn leads to headaches, fatigue, eye strain, pain, stress, you name it, the list goes on. Now on the flip side, you could do diaphragmatic or belly breathing, where that you're really oxygenating and expanding through the lungs, through the body, and it's just a deep, slow, and controlled breath. This is so beneficial for so many reasons. Some of these reasons are it decreases your blood pressure, it decreases your heart rate, you're improving your lung capacity because you're allowing for those muscles to expand and lift, also improving the oxygenation through all the bloodstream and the muscles, reducing pain, reducing stress and anxiety, and overall just feeling better. But the key is that it's just a primary technique to just kick into that parasympathetic nervous system and just to allow us to relax and come down into a centered spot in our minds and our bodies. So the breath is truly the controller for our autonomic nervous system. Now the autonomic nervous system, you have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is that fight or flight reaction. So think about it, if you're rounded in a chair, you're seated, you're doing shallow breaths, you're gonna gain tension through the neck, the muscles, increasing pain. That sympathetic nervous system is just heightening. So we need to reverse that. That can cause a lot of adverse effects. Whereas the parasympathetic nervous system is that rest and digest, rest and relax state that we all need to find more of. So it's just calming, you have better mental clarity and focus. Now, this diaphragmatic breathing is key to bring you into that parasympathetic state. So as you can see, our emotions can really control that state that we're in and our posture as well. So short, choppy breaths equal pain, inflammation, tension, sympathetic, where deep and slow breaths can bring you into that parasympathetic state. Now, what is the diaphragm and what is diaphragmatic breathing? The diaphragm is our primary respiratory muscle. It's a large dome-shaped muscle that just sits at the base of our rib cage. And when we inhale, It expands and contracts and lowers as the belly just gently protrudes. So the organs have pressure coming onto them, which is just allowing that gentle movement of the abdomen. When you exhale, it relaxes and just comes back to that original state. So this is key for all of the reasons that I described above, but it's tricky. You know, it takes some practice. So let's review of how to do this, and we'll make yourselves comfortable. So you can use a pillow under the knees and one under your shoulder blades in your head, and just relax. Just take a couple deep breaths. Now what I'm gonna do, I'll put one hand on my chest and one hand on my belly. So with diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing, you should feel no movement in the chest. It's all from the belly. You may feel a little, but you want to try to keep that to a minimum. So you'll inhale through your nose and just allow that belly to expand, and it's not forced, it's just a natural movement. And then with pursed lips, you'll exhale slowly. Through the mouth, and you feel the belly just relax. So we'll do a few rounds here, inhaling and exhaling. Breathing in little to no motion in my chest. It's all into the belly. Just letting it relax. So it takes some practice, but the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. But let's take this a little bit further. So how does this translate into our yoga practice? So with each yoga practice, we always begin by starting with breathing exercises. We begin with a deep cleansing breath, audible exhales. So you inhale belly breath style, and then open the mouth and exhale, making an H-A-ha sound. So it's like you're fogging up a mirror. So the benefits of this type of belly breathing is that it's preparing the body to enter into meditation. That audible breath allows the brain to hone in and really focus on just those cues. Trying to let go of the outside world, whatever doesn't serve you in those moments, you're just focusing on that breath. But it's also warming the system, improving that blood flow, getting oxygen to the lungs, and just calming the body. Now, sometimes you'll feel that the breath is a little short or more restricted, and for whatever reason, you may be more stressed or tired that day, but that's okay, because each time you practice and each time you do these yoga flows, you'll find what those triggers are, and you'll be able to move beyond that to really expand into that breath. Now, after the warm-up with those audible breaths, we transitioned into the Ujjayi breath, which just means the victorious breath or the ocean breath. And there's a lot of benefits here, especially as we move through the vinyasa flows. So the Ujjayi breath, the key is that you inhale through the nose, so you still get that belly breathing. And when you exhale, you keep your lips gently sealed. But it's as if you're making that ha sound with the mouth open. But you're feeling a constriction in the throat and a little tickle, and it sounds like the ocean waves. So it's very calming. Again, this allows the body just to focus on the breath as you move through the asanas. So with each asana, you'll inhale as you prepare for it, and as you exhale that Ujjayi breath, you move further into the pose, or whatever position that you're moving into. When you're holding a pose for a prolonged state, several breaths, with each exhale, you'll notice that you can go further and further, and your focus just really hones in, and you're only focusing on your breath and how the body is connecting with that breath. Now, the constriction in the throat is another key to how we're getting into that parasympathetic state. So that constriction, that little tickle you feel in the back of your throat, it's stimulating the larynx, which in turn stimulates the sensory receptors of the vagus nerve. And that vagal tone, as that's kicked in, that brings us to that sympathetic, parasympathetic state to feel that rest and relaxation and just pure bliss of meditation that we do through these yoga flows, particularly in vinyasa. So let's do a couple practice breaths here. So again, you can find a comfortable position, the pillow under your knee, and one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Just exhale all the air out. Then inhale, just feeling the belly rise. And then exhale. So I'm hearing that sound of the ocean in the back of the throat. This breath is truly so calming and so relaxing. So ideally, if you can practice this breath, just the regular diaphragmatic breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth to start, and then transition into this Ujjayi breath, you'll really feel the benefits. Just within 5 breaths, you'll already feel a sense of relaxation. But giving yourself 5 to 10 minutes a day to really just hone in on these skills, you'll feel, improved clarity, improved focus, relaxation, reduce the tension and the stress, everything that I just talked about. So I hope you find some benefit in that. Just keep practicing, and remember, linking each movement to a breath as you move through your day and find a new focus. It was an honor teaching you all of this fun information, and I look forward to doing more. Namaste.